Friends, welcome to this holiday party. We are going to celebrate a holiday. This morning I was thinking, why do we celebrate holidays? Why does every culture, every religion believe in some festivities to celebrate as a holiday? And the answer came very quickly to me. The idea came to me that a question came to me. Why do we all want to celebrate holidays? Why are we having a holiday party? How come? Whether we have Christmas, or Hanukkah, or Diwali, or Eid Mubarak, these are all connected with religions. Every religion that I notice has some festivities associated with it, which they celebrate. What is the need to celebrate holidays? Where does it come from? And the answer that came to me was so startling. It was that we are in our true home always on a holiday. And we are missing that holiday. And that's why we want to observe as best as we can a holiday here in order to go home and appreciate a holiday that we always had at home. Therefore, we tried to have a holiday with a difference, a holiday of a different kind in different regions of creation. I almost felt that the regions were created only to have a holiday. We had our true home, living in bliss. However blissful bliss might sound, it doesn't sound like a holiday. If you are in a state of bliss and peace, is it festive enough to be in bliss and peace? Have no activity, just sit in bliss and peace? Just applying some physical standards to the concept of a creator, our true home, and this creation. It looks like we all want holidays. We all want to celebrate. We all want to have festivities. It looks like we created the universes. The Creator created the universes so we could have festivities. We really came down for a holiday even to this physical universe. Something went wrong that the holiday is not so enjoyable, and we have to have special days to celebrate our holiday, and we cannot celebrate every day. One of the mystics whom we address as Swamiji in India, he, in one of his poems, says, saints celebrate their holidays every day, every night in their true home. And they can celebrate their true holiday because they have seen the holiday of this world and they can compare it and appreciate better the holiday of their own home. Saying that we can have a holiday every day, we should have a celebration of the birth of Christ, not only on his birthday, but every day, since he is there in spirit. We should celebrate the festivities of every head of every founder of religion every day. Why choose a particular day for that? But in order to have a continuous holiday, we ought to be in a different state of mind, because we have chosen to experience this holiday of the physical plane only through our mind. It was a great thing, great instrument given to us to enjoy a holiday. The human mind, sense perceptions, and a physical body. What else did you need to have a great time in a physical creation, in a physical universe? We got all three. We got the ability through the mind to create space and time, have vastness in which to explore. We got the ability to create action and reaction, to create karma, good and bad. We got the ability through the mind to create an experience of a roller coaster. You could have danger, which we didn't have earlier. You could face danger, the challenge of danger. However blissful bliss may be, it does not carry the element of thrill. We want thrills in a festive way. Therefore, a design was well drawn up. Let's have a creation in which we can have the missing element of thrill and add it the thrill to our existing state of being in our true home. A very grand purpose for creation. Imagine if you were the creator of everything, the universe, and you said, we have great bliss and joy and everlasting happiness here. We do not know any pairs of opposites. We do not know what is pain. We do not know what is suffering. We know nothing about it. We are all the time in a state of bliss. But we want to make it more enjoyable as a holiday. What would you do? You would create something to have a variety of experiences. And the Creator did it precisely what you would have done. Because you, in your inmost self, are part of the same Creator right now. Therefore, the purpose of creation was to create a better appreciation and create a more enjoyable holiday in our own true home, so that we can match it against different experiences that can be generated in consciousness and then appreciate our true state in a much bigger way. That is why in a story form, when these mystics are written about the stories about our coming down to this level of physical reality and then going back to our true home of true reality, they say that we who are units of consciousness or souls that came to experience this reality, when we go back and merge in the totality of ultimate reality, those souls that never left the ultimate reality, they marvel at the extraordinary happiness that we have, which they don't have, in spite of being in their true home all the time in bliss. What's the difference? What is the difference of a returned soul who goes back to his true home and those that did not leave their true home? The difference is the returned homes, the returned souls getting back to their home have a much greater appreciation of their own true home than those who never left, because they saw something else. In an artificial dialogue created between souls who did not leave their true home and souls that came into this creation and went back, the conversation runs like this. Stay home souls. What is so special about you? You're dancing and jumping around better than us. You are just like us. You are souls. Returned home souls. You don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you got right now. You never saw anything else. We have seen something very different from this. We have seen something spread out through the devices that we took from here. The arrangements that were made here, we took those and had a great time and saw something so different and came back. And so we are in a state of greater enjoyment, greater state of holiday than you people. This is a story form, but it expresses the purpose of creation. The purpose of creation of a world of duality, a world of pairs of opposites, a world in which nothing can be experienced unless there's an opposite of it. The physical world, the world of sense perceptions, the astral world, the world of ideas and concepts, the world from where all space and time originate, the causal world. These worlds are worlds of pairs of opposites. You can experience nothing in these worlds if there is no opposite of what you are experiencing. And yet, our true home has no such thing. There is nothing opposite. But what a remarkable miracle was created by this creation of these three worlds, that these became the opposite of the world of our true home. And now we have the experience of an opposite, even in that world where there is no pairs of opposites, because we artificially created a world of opposites. It's amazing how the only material with which the whole creation took place, the only one single substance, the unified substance through which the whole experience of every world, including our true home and this particular physical world in which we are sitting, came up, was one simple thing called consciousness. What is consciousness? What is this consciousness, life force? What is this that can have any experience it wants? Consciousness is only one substance, if you can call it substance. You can call it power, creative power. You can give any definition. All definitions will fall short. Because when we talk of consciousness being the ultimate creator, the question comes up, who created consciousness then? Because we can go on asking this question indefinitely. He's the ultimate creator. Who created the ultimate creator? We forget that consciousness, when we talk of it, there is no who, because there's nothing outside of it. We cannot say when. There was no time. None of the terminology, none of the languages we use here can be appropriately used for the state of absolute consciousness or totality of consciousness. We have no language. Nobody has ever used any language to describe it. But we can tell stories about it, make it like a little story and share it with people, just to be able to make it entertaining and exciting enough so we can say, let's go and look at it. What is it in a physical world? It's very interesting that the desire to see things can be made into such a strong feeling in consciousness that you can generate any experience, make it independent of yourself, create through illusion a reality. I think we are the greatest magicians ever born. We used illusion to create a reality, and no magician can do that good like we did. We created a reality around ourselves. The process was illusion. We don't know if the good illusion is where you cannot distinguish between reality and illusion. This was such a good illusion, we take it as reality. If it's all illusion, and if I know about it, why am I talking to you? I should know it's all unreal. I know it's unreal, but it's great to be talking in unreality which looks real, which feels real, which is experienced as real. What a great job. That you can use the power of consciousness and illusion to create levels of reality makes it even better. Because then you can have one level of reality placed over another, and you never know which one is really real. You can go to sleep in this physical world, have a dream, and dream becomes real. We forget we are sleeping on a bed. Our body moves. A body that looks like this, not exactly like this, because we never have a good chance to look at our dream bodies. If you recall your dreams, we move around so fast in dreams, we don't see what we look like. We don't spend too much time in the mirrors. I have never seen anybody saying, in the dream I looked at my mirror, except some cases, which were also very strange. One friend of mine, a young girl, says she looked into the mirror in the dream and she saw a man. And she was a man. She discovered she was a man, which she didn't know when she was a woman. In the dream, she was able to realize something which happened to be true, that in a past life, she was a man. And she could even see some of the past life in the dream. A very strange kind of experience. But while the dream lasted, it was as real as it could be. When one wakes up, the dream becomes a dream. It does not become a dream while it's a dream. Supposing we have a dream in which we suddenly discover, it looks like a dream. We think it's a dream. Do you know, even at that time, we tell people in the dream, you know this is a dream. If we knew it's a dream, who are we telling? Because when we wake up, we don't tell anybody. Those people have gone, disappeared. They came for the dream and they disappeared. So even though we speak the truth in a dream state and say this is a dream, we still don't know it's a dream. The actual consciousness does not make us believe it's not real. This is the amazing truth, that consciousness can be placed into levels of reality, into levels of consciousness, into levels of creation. So that makes it far more wonderful than if we just had a one step, okay, we are home, now we are out on a thrill, we are coming back. To go layer by layer, each layer deepening into a different kind of reality, there's nothing like it that we could make. We did a perfect job. We are sitting in a state of perfection if you can see all the levels at once. If you can't see all the levels at once, then we are totally imperfect. at every level. Every level seems to be imperfect. Therefore, there has to be some level where there is no imperfection. Obviously, if that level excludes any other level, it can't be perfect. Therefore, when we speak of our true home, we forget that we are speaking of all levels of creation. They all exist in the true home. We never left our true home. We use the power of illusion, the power of consciousness to generate all these experiences sitting right at home. Therefore, the journey back to our true home is not really a journey. It's an awakening. Awakening from one dream to another. And awakening further up till totality, and we find that the whole show was a dream within a dream within a dream. That we had the capacity to create these dreams and different experiences in order to make it a holiday, in order to have a festive occasion, was a grand purpose of creation. That's why we came here. I sometimes say this is a carnival. We have come for a good time. Of course, there are roller coaster rides, ups and downs. Life is a roller coaster. We know it. All of us know it. And we know there are ups and downs. We don't mind the thrill of a bungee jump, which we can't normally face to look at the depth of it, but we like it. We don't mind the thrills that come from facing danger. Things that we were missing somewhere else. So we added up everything in our own totality. To make perfection in our own true home, we did not have to go out to do anything. We put everything together there, and by putting everything together, we kept it perfect. The perfection remained because it is all-inclusive. Nothing was outside of it. Yet it looked outside. But that's the purpose of creation, to make it look outside. That's the purpose of illusion. Right now, we have a wonderful opportunity to see the illusion which looks like reality of a physical universe. Have a good time. We came here for a good time, temporarily. We never came here to stay permanently. There was never any intention that we are going to be here permanently. Though we are permanent, though we are immortal, as souls, we are immortal. We were never born, will never die, and we have always been like this. If there was an always, of course we created an always, but whatever we did, we were always there. So, to come into this world, we knew it was a temporary journey. Because the costume we wear to create this experience itself was mortal. The body that we wore in order to be here was itself finite and mortal and could not live forever. So obviously, the experience we generated as a human being was finite and was not supposed to be everlasting. We knew it, we see it all the time. Nobody holds on to this physical body forever, and when the physical body goes, physical experience goes away with it. Nobody carries physical experience into a form in which the physical body is not there. The physical experience, the material experience of a material physical world is dependent on wearing this particular costume, which we call the physical body. Physical body comes and physical body goes. The physical experience comes and the physical experience goes. These are temporary experiences generated by consciousness. They look so real. When we share this information with each other in this created universe, the question comes, it doesn't look like it is, it doesn't look like it is just made up by our own consciousness. There are too many elements of reality in it. What are the elements of reality in this universe, if we look at it? How do we judge that this universe is real, absolutely real? What is the method by which anybody can know this is real? The methods are perception. We can see it with our own eyes. We can touch it with our own hands. We can smell with our own nose. We can taste with our own tongue. This world is capable of being verified as real with our sense perceptions. Supposing we cut out our sense perceptions and say, let's find some other way. this whole world disappears. Have you ever thought of it? That the world is sustained by our sense perceptions and nothing else? And then sense perceptions, whether it is seeing or touching or tasting or smelling, all these are based upon an activity in the very costume we are wearing taking place in the head and the brain. Nobody can see with the eyes if the optic nerve does not carry the impression from the retina and the optic nerve into the brain center in the optic area, and we see. We see in the head, not with the eyes. If that's not operational, if you are sleeping, you can keep your eyes open, you never see. We see in the head, not with the eyes. We touch in the head, not with our hands. We do everything which is called sense perceptions in our head and nowhere outside. A simple fact, a physiological, material, physical fact existing here, that the whole experience of a physical world existing as a real world is dependent on what is happening in our head. And there is something more than that. Supposing you are able to trace the origin of your consciousness. After all, when you are conscious, you can see things, observe, touch things, and you say, where is it coming from? Let's take sight. Let me close my eyes and see how was I able to see. And then you find that with your eyes closed, you can still imagine things. You can still see things. And when you're sleeping with your eyes closed, you can still dream things very clearly. Sometimes so clearly, more clearly than physical experiences. What is seeing then? Is seeing based upon something physical or more than that? Just start investigating that. Where are we seeing from? If you pursue this channel of investigation, where do we see from with your eyes closed and go back? Pursuing with your own attention. Because we have no other means of pursuing anything. You want to pursue some subject outside, you use your attention. You want to pursue what is going inside, you pursue with your attention. Supposing you put your attention within and say, where is this experience of perceptions coming from? Where am I seeing from, really speaking? And when you go there, you discover that the experience is being generated of a physical life and physical world in identically the same way as an experience of a dream while you're sleeping. It's not somebody else's verification. It's not depending on somebody else's word. Oh, this is unreal. Just go inside to reality. It's not like that. You perceive and see how this perception works yourself. You go within and see that the creation of these experiences is taking place from within, including the experience of existence of a head. The head is no different from the rest of the body. The head is no different from the rest of other bodies. Therefore, it's a physical experience. You can personally verify that the entire physical experience, including the experience that you have a physical body and a head and a brain, is all arising from somewhere in the center where your attention can go in and touch the core of creativity of your own consciousness. And you discover that there is something more that creates this body. You can reverse the dreaming state. In dream, we carry our ideas into what happened, what we can remember, into the subconscious, into forgotten things, and generate a whole experience of another dream world. In this case, you pull yourself back the other way around. And don't go into the dream state by allowing yourself to relax into a dream state. But withdraw yourself into a more alert state. The opposite of relaxing into a dream state, you go into a more alert state about yourself. Who am I? Where is it coming from? Just this one single investigation of yourself within yourself will reveal to you that the world that you thought was real was just created the same way as a dream is created. There's no difference. You will not even shout to people, I have found out, because you will find the people were created by the same process by which the rest of the world was created. Therefore, this knowledge of our own self, that we have generated an experience outside, dreamlike, for a purpose. Purpose being holiday. Purpose being festivities. Purpose means to have a good time. I can assure you we never came here to suffer. We came here to have a good time. Then why do we suffer? What went wrong in our holiday plans? That we came here to have a great time. And it's a wonderful world. If you look at the world, look at the sunrise, look at the beauty of this world. It's such an enjoyable place. It's a wonderful place. What went wrong that we, instead of enjoying this holiday for a limited time, got so embroiled in pain and suffering, we made hell out of a heaven that we were supposed to be visiting. What happened? Now, let's examine objectively what really happened. Let me give an example. If we go to a carnival, an amusement park, and the amusement park has many rides in it, and you buy a ticket and take a ride, and you take a ride on that little thing that goes round and round with horses going up and down and some carriages sitting there, and you have a great time, and then you get off and say, what a nice ride. And supposing you say, this is my horse, I'm not going to leave it. It belongs to me. Supposing you start saying that, and then you leave it, you'll cry. Well, I lost my horse. You never went there to the horse to possess it, to buy it, to keep it. You went for a ride. If you try to make it your own, naturally you will cry. What you came for to enjoy, the ride, now suddenly becomes something that makes you cry and say, Miss, I'm missing my horse, I lost it. I had a horse, I lost it. It was never yours. Because when you leave the park, it was never yours anyway. You go home, you say, that never belonged to me, why was I crying so much? But while you try to make it your own, you cry, you suffer. Now, can you imagine? Look at our life. Is it not true that the reason why we suffer is because we are trying to make things and people our own, and we want to possess them, and we want to own them, and say, this is mine, and I can't get rid of it. I don't want to get rid of it, it's mine. And one day you'll get rid of it anyway when the show ends. So don't we remember, haven't we seen everybody leaving? Everybody has left the park and the carnival. Everybody left the amusement park and carried nothing out of it. Are we going to carry all that equipment with us? Nothing will go with us. And we know it. And still, what happens? That what we thought was an enjoyable ride, in trying to attach ourselves to it, in order to build more desires for similar things, we made this not a holiday, but a suffering experience. We suffer because we try to make things and people our own, and they were never our own, never will be our own, we will have to leave. It's a very big difference. Knowing it's all temporary, knowing nothing goes with us, how are we planning all these things? I see people of my age, in their late 80s, trying to say, I have a plan to, build a beautiful house there, and I am going to live there for 50 years. It's such a beautiful place, and I know I've got a guarantee from the builder, it'll last 100 years. And next month the guy dies. Where is that house? What has happened with the desire to build a house for 50 years when we know that he's not going to live in it? Create suffering, create pain for ourselves. If you look at the history of suffering itself, you will find suffering has only come because of desires and attachments to this world. If you didn't have those, you would have no suffering. You would just have a holiday, an enjoyment here. So suffering comes from this. But we came for an experience, a roller coaster. We were willing to have some little pain, some little thing, some danger in order to make it a thrill. Thrill was missing where we were. We said, let's have some thrill. Okay, we got the thrill. Then what happened? Then we got involved that in the negative side of it, we developed a life of two sides, working together, negative and positive. We liked good things. We hated bad things. We liked good people. We hated bad people. This likes and dislikes governed our entire life. We began to divide people, items, objects, events into good and bad, likes and dislikes. Therefore, we became judgmental, began to judge everything. We judge people, we judge things, we judge situations, and the more we judge, the more we get involved in the lives and in the operations of others. We get involved in something which was not the intention at all. We go to a carnival. When I go and sit on that little horse going up and down, which I love, I never say, how does it operate? Who made it? Did it do a good job or not? I haven't gone there for that purpose. And yet here, in this creation, we go into those, get involved in those details which have no value at all. Not for having a good time. They have no value. The details into which we go in this life. It is like a person having a dream and saying, I want to actually measure everything that I'm watching here. I want to see what is the length and breadth of my table I am seeing, my chairs. I like to see the density of the paint used on it, and spends all his time and wakes up and finds there is no table, there is no chair. Oh, let me go back to sleep. I have to complete my work. I've never seen that people do that. We are in the same situation. Now look where we have put our attention. And attention which was supposed to be put on enjoying a different experience. Set up like a show for us. A grand show, beautiful show, in which they were not only actors, acting like living beings like us, with having the same souls like we have, actors endowed with consciousness of the same type that we have, in which we ourselves became an actor on the stage. What a grand show, participating in that show. And then forgetting it's a show, forgetting that we are supposed to act and enjoy the acts, we start believing it's real and start fighting, start getting attached to things on the stage property, and then feeling it's a miserable place to be in. It's a stage. It's a stage where we are all actors. How can we be so critical of something on the stage which is set up according to the script? The script was handed down to us. If we are good actors, we will stick to the script. And we will make the right kind of face. We'll talk the right kind of way as required by the script of the play. And if there's any risk, maybe this guy may not act properly, we have to make sure he acts properly. Which is the best way to make an actor act the best way? The best way to make that actor act according to script is to make him believe it's not a script, it's real. The greatest actors in the world actually practice for a while to be that character before they actually act on the stage or in the movies. A movie was made called Gandhi, in which Mahatma Gandhi of India was portrayed by Ben Kingsley, a British actor. Some of you might have seen it. Ben Kingsley in an interview said, for 6 months, he had to train his mind to think he's Gandhi before they allowed the shooting to take place. For 3 months, he believed he was Gandhi. And then only that movie was shot where he acts beautifully, like the real Gandhi. What was the need for so much preparation that then when he was shooting, he believed he was Gandhi? Look what a wonderful way we have been trained. We all believe we are what we think we are doing. We are therefore doing exactly what the script says. We have not even been allowed to remember that we are actors. We are made to believe. Ourselves we are made to believe that this is all real. We are real people in a real situation, enacting real life. Forgetting we are thinking we are real because we have to act according to the script. If we forgot that we are real, we may not act so well. It was a great act. And the greatest show, the greatest act in a movie or in a theater is that where people act most realistically. I think the greatest show on earth is the physical world. And we are all great actors because we don't even know we are acting. We believe it's real life, therefore we act so well. And the script is pre-written in us. That's another big advantage we have. We don't need any prompting. It's not a prompter who speaks and says, speak this. We go with the script pre-written in us and use that pre-written script and the devices to operate that script built into us. Where was the script written that we are all acting? It must have been written very well and put on a right kind of a DVD or some better instrument than a DVD that we are playing it so well. The script is written in our own mind. It is written in a state where there was nothing but the mind. The soul, the consciousness was empowering the mind. And the mind created time and space and placed itself as the originator of all experiences. The mind split itself, like consciousness had split into individuated consciousness, which we call souls. The mind split from a universal state of universal mind into individual minds attached to each soul. At that stage, the mind generated the script. The universal mind generated script after script, because it's time and space. Millions, billions, trillions, decillions, infinite number of scripts to make all kinds of lives. And then we became the choosers of our own destiny, the makers of our own destiny. Which script do you like? We went and picked up our DVD, that this is the script we will play if we are acting as a human being in a physical, material life. We picked up our own destiny. People, when they say, oh, nothing is predetermined, you make your own destiny. I say, yes, but you didn't make it today. Today you can't change anything. You made it earlier. You made it when you can't change now. You picked it up at that stage. You picked it up. It's your destiny. You made it. But not now. Not today. Not in the physical body. You made it in the mind state when the physical body and your sense perceptions which create the physical and the other worlds was not there. You picked up that. And that was the best thing you did in order to have this experience of a holiday. You made that script like a DVD that is merely played out and you can see what happens. We did not use it to tell us what script to speak. We used it to play it. The DVD plays. DVD doesn't tell the actors that come up what to say. The DVD plays their role and the actors become real. The DVD is playing and we call it human life. We are going through it and thinking this is all happening now. We don't know what will happen. The DVD knows because that's what's being played. This is all created for the sake of having a great holiday in different levels of consciousness. And here we are sitting here observing a holiday and saying this is a great day. May I suggest to you, let's have a holiday every day. Let's have a holiday knowing with the knowledge, not mere knowledge, experience of how this was created and how we came here for a holiday. We did not come here for suffering. Ups and downs are part of this holiday. They give a thrill. If you have no ups and downs, there is no thrill. Imagine a passive life. You sit peacefully under a tree and say, I am in a state of bliss. I don't meet anybody. I don't see anybody. I am all by myself. I am in a great state of peace. Of course you are in a peace. No thrill. No enjoyment. And no holiday. Whatever state you are in is not a holiday. To have a holiday, you must have a thrill, must have festivities, must have a party going on. And here we are for that, for a party here. So therefore, when I think how these mystics told us that they have a holiday every day and every night, they can see this and they can see that, and they can see why both of them exist. The very purpose of existence of several levels of consciousness, the very purpose of existence of several levels of experiences in consciousness is to have a great time. We want to have a great time. It's innate. It's innate in our consciousness. to get the best things to be conscious of. And therefore, consciousness designed all these things. If we tarry too long in this state of suffering and say, oh, my life is terrible, horrible things are happening, everybody's just dumping me off, this is happening, nothing happens what I want, it's a terrible life. If we keep on saying this when we die, we say, what were you lamenting about? It was just a dream. We can have a dream in which things happen and we wake up and say it was a terrible dream, it was a nightmare. And when we wake up in the morning, we say, thank God it was a dream. We don't lament, oh, why did we have that dream? We say, thank God it was a dream. And people who believe that all the things are happening by unique law called the law of karma, which itself is a big subject. What is the law of karma? Where is it coming from? Is it a real law or not? I don't believe it's a real law. I don't believe the soul is ever affected by the law of karma. We made it up, like we made up everything else. And law of karma, cause and effect. And we say this is karma. Okay, if you believe in karma as something more real than your dream, then don't forget, karma can be paid off. Any event that you think should be very negative for you in this physical life can be paid off in a dream as well. Karma does not base itself on what level of reality you are having the experience. The law of karma, which operates only in these three worlds of the mind, operates on the principle that if you feel that you had a free will and did something, then you get the consequence of it in an experience in these three worlds. It does not say that it has to be in this physical world. Karma can be paid off in a dream. Karma can be paid off in physical, wakeful life. Karma can be paid off in an astral life. Karma can be paid off in the causal life. There are so many levels in which karma can be paid off by having experiences that undoes what you thought you did with your free will. There are so many avenues to pay off karma. Why are we worried about karma? We should get rid of most of our bad karma in the dream and have the good karma in wakeful state. And we should be able to manage some karma management. We should learn how to do it so that we don't bother. But not really necessary to do karma management. Because when you realize who you are, you'll find all karma was managed as a show. All karma was managed as an illusion. For an experience only. There was nothing else. Imagine the levels available for paying off karma are so many. Dream state, wakeful state, enlightened state of the astral consciousness, state of heavens and hells, the state where we can have no gravity and have a different kind of life, a state of causality, a state where neither space as we know it exists, nor actions and physical bodies exist, only concepts exist, where we are concepts. Karma can be paid off in all those levels. And yet it can be created only in one level, only in a very limited section of one level, the physical, human level. It's such a small section to create karma, and such a huge platform available for us to pay off karma. Why are we bothered? We create karma only when we are human beings in a physical plane. We do not create karma anywhere else. We do not create karma in the dreams. We do not create karma in other species. We do not create karma as angels. We do not create karma in the astral plane. We do not create karma in the causal plane. Those are huge, vast planes, much bigger than this physical plane. And we do not create karma in the physical plane in any other form except human. And there are 8.4 million species, kind of species of life existing on this. Karma is created in one of them, the human species. Isn't it amazing that the area in which we create karma is so small, and the area available to us to pay off is so huge? We should never bother about it. In this little space, karma is being created by another illusion, a grand illusion that we have free will, that we decide what to do. It's our responsibility. We must accept consequences of our own responsibility and our own actions. This feeling, this experience that I can't see what's happening tomorrow, I can decide what will happen tomorrow. If there are two paths available, nobody is telling me, nobody is written in advance which path I will take. I can take any path I like. I can make any decision I like. If this was not there, we would never be able to create karma. Karma is created by the actual experience of free will in the physical body, by human beings alone. So therefore, it's very easy to manage it. The easiest way to manage it is to have a little glimpse of the DVD, that what we think, that we want to decide this, nobody knows about it. Is it already written somewhere or no? If you go and find it was already written that you will decide like that, then obviously you are not really having free will, just an experience. It's just feeling that you are having a decision-making power and you're deciding, and karma flows from that. If you have no free will, then why are you punished or rewarded? If you had no role in it, if there was no role that you played, it was predetermined somewhere, then why are you being punished or rewarded? The truth is you had a role, very big role. You picked up the DVD. You picked up your entire course of action. You picked up what you will think and how you will decide what choice to make. Nobody else made it for you. Therefore, ultimately, you are responsible. You made it, but not now. You think you did it now. It was done earlier, pre-recorded and played. Just because we are playing it now does not change it. Do we have free will? Well, the answer is, if you say, did we originally make the plan? Yes, it was done with your free will. Do we have free will now? It looks like it. Very much. Looks absolutely real. A friend of mine wrote to me from India. He says, you say there is no free will. I have a meeting at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Meeting is fixed. So I know the karma says that I'll have a 10 o'clock meeting. I am going to test your theory that things are predetermined by cancelling the meeting. Things fail. I'll have free will. I wrote back to him, have a little glimpse into the astral plane and see what will actually happen from now till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And it will say that you will say to yourself, there's a meeting at 10 o'clock and I am going to disprove it and cancel it. The cancellation is written in the same bold italics as the rest of the script is written. No difference. The fact you will think that you can change is equally written. Somebody says, if there is really pre-written karma, then a master comes, a holy man comes, an enlightened person comes, says, I will lighten your karma. He performs a miracle. And the karma changes. If the karma changes, then how could it be pre-written? Now that kind of thing, that means when divine intervention has come and changed somebody's karma, which that person had even seen in the astral plane, had gone to the astral plane and seen that will take place. And a divine person with powers above that comes and with divine intervention changes that. And you can see the change has occurred. Therefore, at least we have to acknowledge the divine person must have some power and real free will to change our pattern. But the divine person says, go one step higher into the causal plane where the DVD was programmed, and you go to the causal stage and it says that you had this karma written up and a divine person would come and change it. Even that was written there. Therefore, what looked like an actual alteration of karma at one level and had been altered at the next level was found to be pre-written at the level above it. If you say, we can pick up another DVD, let's go back and pick up another DVD, change everything, change our whole destiny. Then you go up to your true home and find where the whole creation took place, the DVDs you will pick up were also pre-written. It depends on what level of consciousness we go to find out how far it was pre-written. It can be, we are changing it right here in the physical plane, and we find in the astral it's pre-written. We change in the astral plane by divine intervention, it's written on the causal plane. We change in the causal plane, it's written in the ultimate, where there is no time and nothing to write or nothing to read. So therefore, this whole process, when we say is a predetermination, remember, predetermination is not a one-step thing. It's not that you can say, pre-written, now you can't do anything about it. You can do things about it. You can get divine intervention, change it. You can change it yourself by changing DVD. You can go back and find that you are part of the whole creative process. You are part of the creator. You are the creator and can change the whole thing, the whole show. And you will discover you have done it many times. It's not a one-time show. This world has come into creation so many times. Different levels. So many times this has been dissolved and recreated. Dissolved and recreated. New patterns, new methods. Even at one time, there are universes today we have no access to because they have been separated by the illusion of time and space, by something that we create vastness and separated everything. We have separated each other. Imagine we are all sitting here, we will find out up there, we are all one. What is separating us? What is separating each one of us? Time and space. Nothing else. Time and space has separated everything, including us, including those who are in the individuated states of ultimate consciousness have been separated by the creation of time and space. There are vast universes in this space, physical space, where different laws of nature operate, different kinds of beings exist, different consciousness operates. And we are not in touch with them. We'll be in touch with some of them as we move forward to greater experiences already programmed for technology and so on. We'll find out strange things. And technology is moving also somewhat towards what have been said by the mystics long ago. They talk about these things, this capacity of communication like this. The wireless communication, which is now so common, we are all holding our cell phones in our pockets, taking it for granted. They were predicted by mystics thousands of years ago. This will be our communication. It's nothing new. That we can fly and do these things, predicted long ago. We were doing it. There's nothing new here. But we think it's new because it's confined to one level of consciousness. In order to verify all the nice stories I've told you about creation, about these DVDs of destiny that we are working out, and the nature of our own true consciousness, which is containing the whole thing, is it possible to just listen to it and believe it? Is it possible to verify it, at least to the satisfaction of our minds as it exists today? According to me, it is possible to verify. And the method to verify the truth of these observations that I've been making is to go within. There are no answers outside. I have searched. I have traveled more around the world than anybody else sitting here. I can tell you that. I made about 75 round-the-world trips already. May make a few more. But I have not found anything to answer these questions outside. Information of various kinds comes up, but the verification, a verification that satisfies your mind and satisfies you, comes from inside. And the method of going within is very simple, but very difficult. It's very simple because all it needs is two things. Your own attention, which is the malleable, movable part of consciousness. We can put attention where we like. We can put attention on anything outside, we can put attention inside. And second, concentration, the power to concentrate your attention where you want. Only two things are required. If you can use your attention to focus, to concentrate on your own self, not anything else, because you're discovering your own self. Is it true what I'm saying, that this is how consciousness has created all this? Go back to the root. Go back to find out where is my consciousness coming from. Withdrawal of attention to your own source of consciousness, within yourself, will give you the verification for all things I say. Why do I say it's difficult? Simplicity is obvious. You only need attention and concentration and going within. How could be anything more simple than that? Difficult because we have scattered our attention in multiple ways. Our attention is scattered in the current experience to such an extent that it takes a long time to withdraw it. Every time we want to put our attention inside the thought streams, takes us outside, runs outside. That's the only difficulty. We scattered ourselves. Power of concentration has been weakened because our desires and attachments have created it difficult to leave even the attention and move inside. And that's why it takes time. Otherwise, the process would be one instant. One instant you are here, you place it there. A wonderful mystic, a very simpleton mystic, Bulle Shah, said, it's not difficult to find God. Just pull your attention from here, put it there. That's it. He said it so bluntly that this is all that's needed. But we have made it difficult. When things were not so attractive around us, when there were not too many distractions around us, it was easier to do it. We are in an age, the Iron Age, in which there are more distractions than ever before. There are more things holding us out, tying our attention outside than ever before. We're desiring more kinds of joys and pleasures outside than we ever did before. We are attaching ourselves more to them. So pulling of attention has become difficult. Otherwise, it's a simple matter. So it takes time, but it's worthwhile. It's worthwhile to know the whole show, because if you do, if you are able to pull your attention and discover who you are, you will find every level of experience, including the physical experience, was only for a holiday. So let's celebrate the holiday. Let's celebrate it fully. You people have come to celebrate for a day. I recommend. Go within and celebrate every day. You will enjoy. It doesn't matter if it is Christmas, or it's Hanukkah, or Diwali, or Eid Mubarak, or any other day that we have fixed. You can make that day every day by going within. The purpose of going within is to know yourself. If you know yourself, you'll know everything that you want to know. If you know who you really are, totality of consciousness, the entire experience generated outside is taking place inside. Nothing is happening out. There is no such thing as outside when you know who you are. The whole experience is within you. Within not only the body, within every form of yours. You'll find that every form of yours up to the end contains the entire experience of creator and creation together. So that's why it's a worthwhile journey to your own discovery of your own self inside. We call it journey because we make it like a journey too. We call it a spiritual journey because when the scene changes, we think we have traveled to some other scene. Although the scene is changing and we are not moving anywhere. But since the body moves, we say the scene is changing. Since the inner body moves, we say scene is changing. The mind moves, we say scene is changing. So we think change is real. Instead of feeling that the change is an experience going around, we never move at all. We never move. We have never moved. We have created and watched and experienced this universe and all universes from one single indefinite point of consciousness where totality exists. And we are always there experiencing all these things right there. Find it out. You will love it. Because then you will find we didn't come here for suffering. We didn't come here to have a hard time, but to enjoy the facilities available, to have a good and bad rough ride, get the thrill out of this experience, go back home and have a bigger thrill over there because you have had an experience some of your fellow souls have not had. And you can then show with pride, I have come from something you guys have missed. But sorry, there's no pride there because we are leaving the mind behind. The pride is held with the mind only. It doesn't matter. You don't need pride to show off. The showing off of a soul does not require pride. The showing off of the soul does not require any of the thing that we think we need for showing off. the showing off of the soul is expressed in the creation that you can see around you. The soul is showing off itself by the creation around it. It wouldn't be there if the soul didn't show off. So we are already showing off. The ultimate soul, the primordial soul, the single totality of consciousness is showing off through these creations that have been created outside. Enjoy the show. I wish you all happy holidays. Thank you very much.